Chapter 2, The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Part 2. The road from Lanton wound through mist and pine, a winding ribbon of gray between black trees. Tim drove in silence, one hand on the wheel, the other gripping the worn handle of the waxed box Lenora had given him. The back seat felt colder than it should. He checked the mirror again. Still nothing. The rain had returned, soft and rhythmic. It wasn't the kind of rain that washed things away. It clung, quiet and persistent. Mist, his cat, greeted him with a single meow when he got home. She didn't approach the box. Tim placed it on the kitchen table, eyeing it like something alive. He didn't open it right away. First, he unplugged the television, covered the mirrors, powered down his phone. Only when the apartment was quiet, unnaturally so, did he untie the waxed string. Inside, yellowing paper covered in ink, Lenora's notes, drawings, symbols, margins full of translations, corrections, panicked scrawlings. One phrase repeated multiple times: she appears when memory breaks. Tim sifted through the pages, flashlight at hand, even though the power hadn't gone out. Yet. Some of the entries resembled rituals. Others read more like therapy exercises, naming suppressed thoughts, recalling forgotten details. He paused at a sketch of the girl. Red coat. Head tilted, just a bit too far. Most chilling was this line, circled in red: "Do not lie to yourself. That is how she enters." He spent hours at the table, scribbling notes, cross-referencing online posts with Lenora's pages. One thing became clear. The entity wasn't just an echo. It fed on denial, memory gaps, unresolved emotion, not just fear, disconnection. The victims had all experienced dissonance in the days before their deaths. Gaps in time. Emotions they couldn't explain. Regret that felt misplaced. Tim knew that feeling. He'd lived it for years. He set the coat on the table. It felt heavier than it should have. Mist arched her back and leapt down from the counter, vanishing into the bedroom. The candle flickered. He started the ritual, if it could be called that. Not in Latin, not with incantations. Just a pattern of speaking, breathing, remembering. He pulled out his notebook and read aloud everything he'd recorded over the past week. Sightings, interviews, strange coincidences. His own sighting. The phone call, the figure at the church. Then he went deeper. He opened the files on Sarah Connolly, read the blog posts again, the panic in her friend's texts, the missing phone, the survivor who saw her by the gas station. His voice faltered when he hit the phrase, "She's coming, don't look back." The lights flickered, something shifted. He closed his eyes and tried to think of something, anything he had denied. Not hidden, not forgotten, denied. The memory came uninvited. He was 17. There was a kid in school, Elliot, quiet, awkward, always wearing two big swag sweaters. Easy target. Tim hadn't started it, but he didn't stop it either. He laughed when the others mocked him. Once he tripped him in the hallway. No reason, just impulse. A few weeks later, Elliot was gone. They called it a suicide. Said he jumped from the overpass outside town. Tim remembered the look on his face that day in the hallway. Not anger, not sadness, just resignation. He never told anyone, never apologized. He just forgot, or tried to. His throat tightened. He hadn't thought about that day in decades. The candle went out. Footsteps, not loud, not from outside, from the hall. He opened his eyes slowly. She was there, red coat, tilting. He didn't run, didn't speak, just breathed. "I see you," he said quietly. "I remember." The girl didn't move, but something in the air cracked. The pressure eased. Tim stood. Every instinct told him to look away. He didn't. "I know what you are. You're not her. You're not anyone." The girl blinked. Once, the shadows around her pulsed. Tim stepped forward. "You don't get to rewrite my story." And with that, she was gone. Not vanished, not exploded, just no longer there. He stayed still for a long time. Later, he burned the coat, bagged the ashes, threw them in a dumpster miles away. The air in the apartment felt different, lighter, not free of fear, just no longer drowning in it. He didn't sleep that night. He sat with Mist, who eventually returned to his lap, and watched the sunrise claw its way across the blinds. 2 days later, he opened his laptop. He hadn't planned to, but there it was, a blinking folder he hadn't touched in years. Case, The Crying Tree, North Carolina, 2009. 3 children had gone missing. Only one came back. Tim clicked it open. The witness had said the tree cried their names. And one last note, likely copied from Sarah's research. The roots go deeper than anyone knows. Tim stared at the screen, his reflection caught in the dark glass. Behind him, Mist jumped onto the windowsill and watched the rain begin again. He opened a new file.